What is up, guys? My name is Kitty and this is my first YouTube video now that I am a flight attendant. I don't even know where to start with this, but I had a really cute crew member the other day who suggested that I actually document my life and my travels and put it on YouTube. So that's what I'm gonna do. The first video I thought would be fun is doing like the pros and cons of being a flight attendant, and I'll be honest, it was really hard trying to find a con, but I found a couple that other people have told me like it's a con for them. So they don't necessarily apply to me, but like I see where they're coming from, so I thought I'd throw them in here anyways. Long story short, I am a brand new flight attendant. I've been flying for 6 months. I was based in New York City, and as of like 3 days ago, I am now based in Salt Lake City, which is my hometown. So rather than commuting across the country, I drive 15 minutes to the airport, and it's really, really convenient. The first pro that I came up with is an obvious one. It is pretty much why everybody thinks that anybody becomes a flight attendant, and that is you get paid to travel the world. And not only that, you get travel benefits as long as you're working until you're retired, and you still get benefits. You get benefits for your mom and dad. You get benefits for your step parents. You get benefits for your spouse, for your kids. It is a freaking great deal. We also get buddy passes so we can bring friends with us. Coming from an airline family, I've always traveled for free because both my parents worked for the airlines. So I will say, this isn't like a groundbreaking thing for me, but now I'm getting paid to go on vacation. Do you see how that, it's just like, you wanna pay me to go to Paris? Okay, it's a pretty great perk. Perk number 2, which is so awesome that I don't think a lot of my friends who are flight attendants and pilots even know about, but you also get airline discounts for cruises, for hotels, for rental cars. You get discounts on other airlines. You can travel nearly free on almost any other airline in the world. You get the crew rate at hotels. You get discounts on your food at the hotel. You get major discounts on everything pretty much travel related. And it's awesome. So yes, your flight is completely free unless you're traveling internationally, and all you pay are taxes, which, for an example, when we went to Thailand, the landing fee was like 58 cents. Yes, you heard me right. 58 cents to go to Thailand in first class. We had a lay flat seat for 58 cents. Why would anybody not want to be a flight attendant? I mean, that's reason enough. Like, I should just end the video now. Bye! Okay, the third pro is another obvious one, but you get to go to amazing places. In the first 3 months of flying, I had been to like 6 different countries. Okay, so my camera died. Whatever. I don't remember what I was saying, but going abroad is so awesome. But I think some of my favorite trips have actually been exploring like little podunk towns in the US. Like, one of my favorite trips, I didn't know what in the world I was gonna do in Rochester, New York for 30 hours. But I had an awesome crew and we went exploring, and we went to this really fun like gaming museum. It was so cool. It's just like little things like that. You get to see really cool parts of the world and parts of the country that you wouldn't normally see. Like, I don't know how many people go to Rochester, New York on vacation, you know? One pro is that my airline doesn't make you be on full-time reserve, which is so incredible, and I feel so thankful for that, because when my mom started flying, she was on full reserve every single day of the year for like 2 years, something like that. It was insane. Maybe I should throw in a con just because I feel like I've done a lot of pros, because there's a lot of pros, okay? I'm sorry. The con I have is A days, reserve, airport standby. So like I just mentioned, like my airline, we don't have full-time reserve, but other airlines do, and I can only imagine like that would be miserable. Like, yes, you're seeing awesome places, but it's like you have no schedule. It takes out a lot of the flexibility in your job. But we do have A-days. Most junior people have 6 A-days a month. They can either be in 2 sets of 3 or 6 days in a row. And that just basically means that at any time of day or night, you can get a call from crew scheduling telling you to get to the airport. Here in Salt Lake, we only get 2 hours notice. If you're not there in time, that's a failure to cover, and you could potentially lose your job. And we also have airport standby, which I get a lot being so junior, but that just means that you get to go sit at the airport for 4 hours at a time. You could get a call and be like, okay, like, Kitty, go board the flight to London. If they're not there in time, like, you're going to London. It's like, okay. Or you could get a call at 2 in the morning saying that you're gonna go to Boise. Yay! Another pro is that there is never any monotony with this job. Any given day never looks the same. You could work with one crew for 3 days and you may never see those people literally ever again. Like maybe in passing in the airport, or you may get another trip with them, but more likely than not, you will never see them again because there are so many of us. You typically never have the same passengers. You typically never work with the same pilots. You typically never work with the same gate agents. Like everything is different. You're always going to a different city. People always ask me, what's your route? Like, every single trip is absolutely different. Like I have not had the same layover twice. That's a lie. I went to San Diego twice. You get the point. I never have the same day. It's never the same, and I love that. How about another con? This isn't really an issue for me because it doesn't really bug me, but time zones. You're never in the same time zone. Like I was in DC last weekend and I had a 5 a.m. show, so I had to wake up at 4 a.m. on the East Coast, which in Salt Lake, that's 2 o'clock. So my body was like, Kitty, it's 2 a.m., go back to bed. And I was like, sorry body, like it's time to go. Time zones can be an issue, especially when you travel international. And for another pro, you can live wherever you want. You do not need to be based in the city in which you reside. So for the last 6 months when I was based in New York City, I did have a crash pad, but I by no means lived there. I was able to commute to and from. There's lots of people who commute from Amsterdam, from London, from Paris, from Puerto Rico. People commute to work from all over the world. And yeah, sometimes it can kind of suck. Like door to door, my commute to New York was sometimes like 9 hours, which yes, it takes up a huge chunk of your time, but it was worth it because I got to work in New York City, which has awesome, awesome trips, but I was still able to come home and spend time with my family and my boyfriend. So it was the best of both worlds and it really worked out for me. Okay, another con, which yes, I have seen this a little bit, but I kind of knew the nature of the beast from coming into this, so it doesn't really bother me too much. But being junior, you're most likely going to be working every holiday. You most likely are going to be working every weekend, and it's going to be difficult for you to get off a certain day if you really, really need that day off. That being said, there are ways around it. There are ways to drop trips. There are ways to swap trips, and you can manipulate your schedule in order to make it work for you. So yeah, being junior, you're not home for everything. You may miss family events. You may not be home for your birthday. You might miss Christmas, but it's a trade-off. That being said, another pro is your schedule is so flexible. You are guaranteed 10 days off a month. So 10 days off, that doesn't really sound that much, but that is, if you wanted it to be and if you were senior enough to hold it, that's every weekend. And 2 of those weekends are long weekends. Does that even make sense? I don't know. And here's the really cool part. You can smush all of your trips together, so you work pretty much back to back for 2 weeks, and then you can have a big chunk of 10 days off. Whether you stay at home or go traveling, your schedule is so, so flexible. Okay, I have one more con for you guys, and this one I can actually attest to. So before coming into this job, I'd like talked to other people my age and my seniority number, and I've heard you can get lonely. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, this is awesome. My mom's always done it. My dad's always was a pilot. So like, I was kind of used to my parents always being gone. I was like, how in the world do you get lonely? Let me tell you, when you're stuck in a crash pad for like a week without any trips, but you can't come home for whatever reason, and you're just sitting there alone in a crash pad and you're just like, I want to fly. I want to go home. I want to do anything but sit in this crash pad. Yeah, you get lonely. And something I found, A lot of people think that when you're on your layovers and you're stuck in a hotel by yourself, or you have to go walk around by yourself, or go to dinner by yourself, or just do anything alone, they think that's what's really lonely. I haven't really had that issue because I just find people to hang out with, I guess. I like to go out with my crew, and we always will go out to dinner, go get drinks, or grab coffee in the morning, or go tour and walk around somewhere. But on the other hand, like, I also don't mind being alone. It teaches you to be really, really independent, which is a pro. You get so independent. But yeah, you get lonely sometimes because you are alone. You're away from your family on holidays and birthdays, and sometimes, like, you just can't do anything about that. But look at where you are. Okay, that was my last con, and it's like, it's not really a con, you know? Okay, do I have any more pros? Pros. Okay. Oh, okay. So I talked about the flexibility in our schedules. Well, because of that flexibility, and because you, on your layovers, you're not home, so you can't do laundry or chores or anything else, you have so much freedom to do other things. I know lots of people who are super involved in real estate, people who have YouTube channels, people who do lots of other things. They're getting master's degrees while they're working. I know flight attendants who are working on getting all of their hours so that they can become a pilot. You have so much freedom and extra time in your life and your schedule to be able to do other things, which I think is really, really cool and unique, because I think a lot of jobs don't really give you that opportunity. I think the last pro that I will share with you guys really quick is that there is such a huge sense of community within the airline industry. I don't care who you are, I don't care your background, you know, whatever, like, if we fly together or we meet in the airport or whatever it is, hell, if we are at a restaurant and I see you wearing like my airline's t-shirt and I go up to you and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, we work for the same airline, it is an instant connection between gate agents, between ramp rats, between pilots and flight attendants and everybody. It is an instant connection. And you just have a million, you have like 85,000 best friends in the blink of an eye. You have friends all over the world. You know, there's some people who are gate agents in Korea, and that's all they do. And so it's not like you see them all the time. Like, you rarely see them, if at all, but it's like, it's that instant connection. Like, it's just really, really cool. There's a huge sense of community and everybody has your back. It's like giving me chills because I've really found that out. I was commuting to New York, and after graduation, I was commuting back to New York for my first trip and base orientation and everything, and I didn't have anywhere to live. I literally did not have somewhere to lay my head at night. I was just gonna buy hotels, I guess. But there was a gal sitting behind me who was also commuting from Salt Lake to New York, and she overheard me talking to the flight attendant next to me, and she's like, you don't have somewhere to live? Like, I have a crash pad, we have an extra bed, come stay with us at least for the night and just see how you like it and everything. And she just totally took me under her wing. I ended up staying there while I was in New York. So I think that these people are just incredible. Not only the people that you work with, but the people you get to meet and encounter on your flights. I've met so many amazing people who have shared their stories with me, and it's really heartwarming to know that there are people like that out in this world. I just think it's so amazing that I have 85,000 people who have my back. If I ever needed anything, like, I know that somebody is there for me, and I think that's a really, really cool thing. Anyways, those are my pros and cons. Like I said, the cons aren't really cons. Like, this is the best job in the entire world. I would suggest it for anybody. It's just, it gives you so many opportunities that other jobs don't give you. And the thing is, like, I keep saying job just because I don't know how else to put it for other people, like, to understand what this is. But it's a lifestyle. I don't wake up and dread, like, oh, I have to go to work. I don't tell people, like, oh, I gotta work. Like, it's like, oh, I get to go to work. I get to go fly. It's not even that. It's like, I get to go on vacation and I'm getting paid for it. Like, I'm feeling so grateful. I got home the other day. I was telling my boyfriend, I was like, somebody paid me to do this. Somebody paid me a lot of money to do this. It's been awesome. So I'm really happy to be where I am. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you guys want to see anything else, let me know. And look forward to some more travel vlogs and other flight attendant related content. Okay, I love you. Mwah!